The story begins with Kyle, a wealthy, handsome, and arrogant young man. His looks, his style, and his attitude are so flawless that people can't help but admire him. He's the son of a famous news anchor, and in college, all eyes are always on him. Girls are infatuated with him, but Kyle is full of himself and often humiliates others who don't match his standards of beauty. He runs in the college election and wins, becoming the student president. One day during a speech, he boldly declares that only beautiful people deserve to win, mocking his classmates, especially those who look a bit different. Among them is Kendra, a girl who stands out not just for her appearance, but because she's actually a witch with magical powers, disguised as a regular student. Nobody at college knows her real identity. Kendra challenges Kyle's shallow mindset, but he humiliates her in front of everyone. Later, Kyle privately apologizes and invites her to a party that night. At the party, where all the students are present, Kyle once again mocks Kendra publicly. It turns out he had only invited her to make fun of her. This enrages Kendra, though Kyle doesn't realize the gravity of what's coming. Feeling dizzy and uncomfortable, he leaves the party early and heads home. While standing on the rooftop, Kendra appears. Kyle is shocked to see her. She tells him she has placed a curse on him, and its effects will soon become clear. Suddenly, Kyle's appearance transforms. He loses all his hair, his skin becomes covered in grotesque tattoos and scars, and his eye color changes. Now, he looks terrifying and hideous. Kendra tells him that if, within 1 year, a girl falls in true love with him and tells him, "I love you," the curse will be lifted and he'll return to his former self. But if that doesn't happen, he'll remain like this forever. When Kyle's father returns home and sees his son's horrifying appearance, he's shocked and immediately takes him to doctors, willing to risk surgery to fix him. But Kyle refuses and, in anger, walks away. His father then sends him to a secluded house far from the city, where a housemaid is appointed to take care of him. Kyle is deeply upset that his father abandoned him instead of supporting him. He becomes reclusive, losing contact with everyone and unsure of who to talk to or where to go. To outsiders, it's claimed that Kyle has gone to rehab. One day, a blind tutor arrives at the house, sent by his father to continue Kyle's studies. Despite everything, Kyle's father never visits him. During this difficult time, the maid and the tutor become his only emotional support. From the maid, Kyle learns that she had to leave her own son behind due to immigration issues and now can't return. Unable to bear his appearance, Kyle eventually covers his face with a hoodie and sneaks into a party where Kendra is present. He begs her to lift the curse, but Kendra calmly tells him that nothing can be done unless a girl truly falls in love with him and confesses her feelings within a year. Otherwise, he'll remain this way forever. Kyle is crushed. At the party, he spots his ex-girlfriend getting cozy with one of his friends, revealing their betrayal. Heartbroken, he steps away into a corner, when suddenly, a classmate named Lindy approaches him. Kyle had never spoken to her before, but she had always liked him. Lindy doesn't recognize Kyle in his new form, as he now looks nothing like his former self. She feels a quiet sympathy for him. It hurts her deeply, and she tells him that living with a face like his must be incredibly hard. Hearing this, Kyle feels a strange warmth inside. Someone actually cares about him. After that moment, Kyle starts following Lindy, now completely drawn to her. He hides near her house just to catch a glimpse of her. One day, while he's outside her home, he sees her stepping out and heading toward the back of the house, searching for her father. Kyle quietly follows her and witnesses 2 drug dealers threatening her father and demanding the money he owes them. One of them points a gun at him. Kyle steps in from behind and attacks one of them, knocking him down. But the other dealer pushes Lindy to the ground, causing her to faint. Kyle immediately picks her up and rushes her inside. When he returns, he sees that Lindy's father has shot and killed one of the dealers. The surviving man threatens Lindy's father, saying he won't spare his daughter for killing his brother. Then he flees. Now, Lindy's life is in danger. Kyle tells her father to send her to his house where she'll be safe, but Lindy's father doesn't recognize Kyle and refuses. So Kyle warns him that if he doesn't agree, he might end up in jail for the murder. Hearing this, the father agrees and brings Lindy to Kyle's home the next day, telling her that staying at his friend's house is for her safety. Lindy isn't happy with her father's decision, but he leaves her there. Now, Lindy begins living in the house. But Kyle never meets her in person. He always wears a mask and even gives her a fake name. Lindy locks herself in her room and only comes out when absolutely necessary. Kyle, eager to impress her, leaves expensive gifts outside her door and knocks quietly before walking away. But Lindy doesn't even pick them up. Despite his efforts, she keeps rejecting the gifts, leaving Kyle frustrated. His maid explains to him that Lindy isn't like other girls. He needs to genuinely connect with her. Taking her advice, Kyle approaches Lindy's room with a jar of jelly, still wearing his mask. Seeing him, Lindy is startled. Kyle explains that he wears the mask so she doesn't get scared. Lindy expresses that she doesn't want to live in this house. She wants her old life back. Kyle gently explains that her father made this decision out of love, for her safety. Hearing this softens Lindy, and she accepts the jelly, which makes Kyle extremely happy. To win her over, Kyle begins building a greenhouse on the rooftop and spends all day working on it. Still, he doesn't show his face to Lindy. This bothers her, so she finally asks him why he always hides his face. Left with no choice, Kyle removes the mask. But Lindy doesn't flinch. She simply says she's seen far stranger faces. This makes Kyle incredibly happy. From that point onward, they start spending more time together, slowly forming an emotional bond. Kyle realizes he's falling in love with Lindy. He even writes her a love letter, but he's too afraid to give it to her, worried she might not feel the same and reject him. Kyle wants to grow closer to her, to win her heart. He finally completes the greenhouse and shows it to Lindy. It's filled with beautiful flowers. She's amazed and genuinely touched. But time is running out. The 1-year deadline for the curse to break is fast approaching. If Lindy doesn't fall in love with him and confess it, he will remain in his cursed form forever. Desperate, Kyle goes back to Kendra, the witch who cursed him, and begs for more time. He pleads with her, hoping to delay the curse so Lindy can fall in love with him. But Kendra tells him magic cannot be undone. However, if Lindy truly loves him and confesses it herself, the curse will naturally break, no extension needed. Kendra tells Kyle that if he finds true love before the year ends, she will heal his blind teacher's eyes so he can see again, and she will also help his maid get a green card so she can reunite with her children. Kyle feels deeply touched, knowing how much both of them supported him in his darkest times. Seeing the genuine change in Kyle, Kendra wishes him good luck. One day, Kyle and Lindy are spending time together when Lindy tells him about a guy from college she used to like. She's actually talking about Kyle, though she doesn't know she's sitting with the same person. Kyle smiles and says, "Maybe he liked you too." But Lindy replies, "I don't think he ever even spoke to me." The next day, Lindy receives a text from her father saying that the criminal threatening her life has been caught and is now in jail. Relieved, Lindy decides to return home. Before she leaves, Kyle takes her to the station and gives her a letter he had written for her. On the train, Lindy reads the love letter and realizes that Kyle truly loves her. She also comes to understand that she's fallen in love with him too. She tries to call him, but Kyle, heartbroken, doesn't answer. Convinced she could never love someone with his appearance, Kyle shares his pain with his maid and teacher. They encourage him to go see Lindy. There's still time. Knowing she's heading on a college trip, Kyle rushes to meet her. Lindy is overjoyed to see him and asks why he didn't answer her call. Kyle says, "Because you don't love me. How could you? Look at me." Lindy softly replies, "That's not true. I love you for your heart, not your face." She touches his face lovingly and kisses him. As she's about to leave for her trip, Lindy turns back and says, "I love you." Kyle, overwhelmed with emotion, walks outside the college, and that's when something magical happens. The curse is broken, and Kyle transforms back into his true self. Looking in a mirror, he's stunned and overjoyed. Lindy returns and looks around for him, not realizing he's changed. When he tries to explain that he's the same person, she doesn't believe it, but then she calls his phone, and it rings. Realizing the truth, she runs into his arms. Meanwhile, Kendra keeps her promise. Kyle's blind teacher regains his sight, and his maid receives her green card, allowing her to finally reunite with her children. Both are overwhelmed with joy. In a surprising twist, Kendra joins Kyle's father's office as a new employee, perhaps ready to teach someone else the same lesson. Kyle, who was once arrogant and obsessed with beauty, is now transformed not just on the outside, but from within. He has learned that true love and humanity are far more valuable than physical appearance and status. And with that, the movie ends. So that was the story. Now tell us, if you were in Lindy's place, could you fall in love with someone for who they truly are beyond appearances? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next video. Till then, take care and goodbye.